Hi, welcome back to our Python programming from beginners to programmers. And in this video segment, we are going to hop into the Spyder Lab, the Python lab, to run the functions available in pandas to perform permanent storage. We are going to work on 4 different file types: text file, read and write; CSV file, read and write; Excel.xlsx file type, read and write; and finally, the all-important HTML, read and write. So let's hop over to our Spyder Lab. So now it's time for you to run your Spyder. Okay, so please run it and have your file explorer open up so that you can see how the file is being created, and there are parts where we will actually manually duplicate the file and edit the file. So let's begin by importing the usual numpy and pandas, and then what I'm going to do is to copy and paste our standard test membership database: Chris, Seth, and Amin. Right, I think this part we've been talking a lot in the slide sessions. So just creating the data frame, all right, 3 rows and 4 columns, and then let's print it out like that. Now we're going to do a bit of sort of data conversion and file type conversion. Why I say that is because when we perform the S type, remember we can use the pandas S type to perform file conversions. No, sorry, data type conversion. So here I'm forcing the name to be string. Well, that doesn't change anything. Forcing age to be int, however, does change something to the value, right? It becomes 26 itself. And once we have done that, we can print out the data types, and then we will look at, all right, we'll look at df once again to see what's going on. So after those forced conversion of data types, we get object, int, float, boolean, just to give it some variety. And then we see that the data is actually changed like this. Okay, good. Then what happens? Okay, right now we want to perform text file creation. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to what? I'm going to try to squeeze in a little bit here, and maybe let me undock this part, okay, so that it can go anywhere and share a bit of screen real estate. Then I want to close this part so that my programming space can be a bit wider. But more importantly, I want to pull in this window, okay? So I've created this temporary file folder here. It's at in my hard disk. It's at d:temp Python online Python. So of course I need this script, this file here, to be uh, stored in this directory temp Python. And of course for Spyder I need where is the oh well I need to ensure that I'm okay. So you see this icon here. I need to ensure that Spyder is having this same folder as the working directory, because when we save into the file without specifying fully the path name, like c:/ or whatever it is going to store into the current working directory. So in order to make sure that our current working directory is the same as that, I will have to sort of put it here. So select this folder, and then when we check, it is correctly, well, it should be there. Okay. Okay. So alternatively, you can also import OS and say os.get current working directory. It should be platform independent, so you can do this on Linux and Linux and Mac. Well, I just checked. Thankfully, I checked. I think it's because of my setup. I couldn't just make Spyder do that. Maybe you could have done that in your setup. But here, another way to ensure that the current working directory of Spyder is the same as what we are looking at, we can use os.change directory, right, to d colon, because backslash, double backslash just means single backslash in a string. So I need to do that. Okay. So I need to make sure that our current working directory is there, so that whenever we do not specify fully the path name, it will by default store in here. Okay, so otherwise you won't see the magic that I want to show to you. So right now in my Python directory, I have only one file, this script here. Or actually another test script, but it doesn't matter. So here, what we're going to do is to, well, output, right? So we're going to sort of create an output text and then run it. So where's my, yeah, console? So if I run this here, we should see that the output text is a text. Now, let's check, because on the screen, it doesn't seem to show any difference. So type of alt text is a string. Type of df, of course, is pandas data frame. Very different in nature. It is this alt text that we can write out in formatted in this form, right, to the file. So what's next is that we need to define a file name, okay, dfout.text, and then write it out, okay. And then, of course, after executing the with open and fs.write command, check directory for new file being created. Here's the magic. Here's the magic. So watch here. It should create the dfout.text in the current working directory because it is a relative file name. It doesn't have the full path specification. So that's 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. Nope, there's no cheating. This dfout was generated because of the file. Okay, just to see the magic again, I really have to position it this way. Okay, that is clearer. Okay, let me delete this dfout in case you think I have made some secret copying over, right? So no, it's really by this program. So look, 1, 2, 3, run. And there you go. Okay, so it pops out, and but wait, is it the right thing or is it just empty file, right? We don't know. Let's open up and run, say, Notepad. It opens up on my other screen. So here it is. Okay, exactly what we have in memory. Now, this is very reassuring because power failure, hard disk, memory corruption, you type halfway, Python fails, whatnot, right? Save it as a backup, and later on this file is, corrupted, you still have a backup. So for all these very nice assurances, saving to file is really a big deal here. Now, as we were saying earlier on, what was our task for this text file? We want to, so in this next slide, right? We want to create dfout2, add 3 more entries, okay, to the content, Cas, Lars, and Bond. Cas, Lars, and Bond. So let me try to do that. Cas, Lars, and Bond. Okay. Just make sure I have that data with me. But let me switch back to my Spyder screen. Okay. And what we want is to operate on our folder here, right? So let's make a copy, rename it to 2. Then using our notepad, we will add 3 more entries. That would be Cas 25 192.51 false. Remember, this is hand typed in kind of a text, false, right? Then we have Lars 31 99.52 Actually, you can also have other values, doesn't matter. Just, enter 3 more lines. 82, I'm afraid this is 92. And this should be dot, right? So 82.15, and finally we have a true here. Okay, good. So now because of the star, it means it's not saved. I press Ctrl S to save it. We're done. Okay. All right, so this is df_out2. Now our job is to read back in, and that is this chunk of code, right? So file name, read the table from file name 2. Delimiter is true. You can, because it's named parameter, you can put delim white space first or header first, doesn't matter. And then we see what is df2